Hi there, Chase from High Level here to give you a quick tutorial on how to build some nice pricing columns. I'm going to build out 3 columns here on this funnel page, and then once I do, I'll grab the share link and put it in the video description so that you can grab it and load it up if you'd like. All right, let's hop in. All right, I'm not going to build the header or the footer or anything. I'm just going to build the 3 column pricing boxes because you're going to style around that. So we're going to start by adding a section here. I'll throw a full width section in, and then quick little tip, start with 1 column, because once you build your first column and you clone it, it'll create 2 and then the 3rd column, so that we don't have to go apply all the style changes to each column. We can do it on the first one and then clone it twice. In this example, I'm going to make my column boxes white. So I'm going to make the background just a different color. So just to give us a little contrast here. So let's say the background of my section is going to be that color. And then I can see what I'm doing here when I go to stylize my box. So make sure that you have your column selected. So you need the purple box around it here. So once you have that selected, let's go ahead and make the background color white. And then I like to round the corners. So let's go advanced. Let's throw a full border on it. And you can make your border a different color if you want. That might look cool. I usually just match the color of my column here, but let's make it a different color. So let's make it sort of like a bright green, just so we can illustrate the point. Once you've added a border, you can then mess with the border width here. I like to keep it really small, like 2 pixels, but you can mess with the radius. So let's go ahead and throw like a 15 pixel radius on there, and you see how it rounded the corners, which will look pretty cool in a sec. So each of our columns here is going to have 5 elements. The first is going to be the name of the plan. So I'm just going to throw a headline in here, and their first plan will be called standard. And okay, that looks good. We'll probably reduce the size of that down so that the price or whatever you want to stand out will stand out, and you can mess with that on your own. So next I'm going to add a price. I'll just hit plus, and I'll throw another headline in there, and let's say my base price is going to be $97, and I want to make that stand out, so I'm going to boost that way up. So let's make that like an even 70 pixels like that. Cool. And then after that, I want to put a specifier, so I'm going to go add a subheading, and I'll do /monthly, and I'm going to reduce the size of that down as well. Okay, cool. And then next we're going to get the list of what's included in this plan. So I want a bulleted list here. I want it to be centered, and I'm just going to go and copy all the line items from the SAS configurator. So I'll be right back after I do that. All right, there's my what's included list. And lastly, I just need a button. And so I'll just add another element, choose a button, and we're going to make our text say get started or whatever we want it to say here. All right, cool. And now it's just on to styling. So I'm just going to hit save real quick. I got my reminder that it's time to save. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's work on some spacing here. So first, let's put some top and bottom padding on the column. So again, let's hover out until we get to purple. And let's scroll to our padding section, and let's beef this up. I'm going to go with something like, oops, not my left. I want padding top, and let's try something like 40, and let's match it on the bottom. We always want to space things out nice and evenly. So let's start with that. Let's throw some spacing in between these elements. So let's just choose the pricing, and we'll go equal on the top and bottom with a 10 and a 10. All right, cool. Now we want to, this is all kind of jammed on top of each other. So if we select our list, go to advanced, we can space out our line height a little bit. All right, that looks good. And then the rest of that spacing looks pretty good. So we're basically good to go from here. And again, all we need to do now is just clone this twice. So if we come over to purple again and hit clone, there's 2, and then hover over this one and clone. Boom, there we've got our nice 3 boxes. All right, cool. So I'm gonna go customize the prices on each of these and what's included. I'll be right back. All right, there we go. So a couple of things now that I'm looking at this. I'd like a little more spacing between my lists and my buttons. So I'm just gonna quickly go ahead and select each of the lists, and I'm just gonna double the padding below to 40, 40, 40. And now I don't like how they start at different places, right? It's just because the amount of content is different in each. So a tip to get them all lined up correctly is to select the column and then in the content alignment area, content spacing, go left. And we can see that's going to bring it up to the top. So left and then left. And cool, now we've got them all starting at the same point. And if you wanted to, you could go ahead and use padding to try to line up the buttons there as well. So if you wanted to do that, or if you could mess with the spacing however you like, but I'm just going to leave it like that. Well, maybe I won't. So maybe I'll select my button. I'll throw a margin on the top, and I need some more, a little bit more. Okay, that looks about good. And then let's go. Oh. Oh, all right, maybe I don't need to go that high. And we could slide that and eyeball that if we wanted to. That's kind of a lot of space in there, so I might kind of keep working on that, but we'll leave it like this for now. I'm going to save before I forget. And then just to reiterate, one other thing I think I'd point out is, let's say you wanted to keep this background white. One cool thing that you can do is when you select your column here in advanced, not in advanced, you can go to general, you can scroll down to box shadow, and you can throw a cool little drop shadow on the box, which looks pretty cool as well. So I think I'll probably do that. Let me keep that on there. Oh, what did I do? 20%, I think. And then 20%. And again, I should have done this before I cloned my column, so I didn't have to do it 3 times, but there we go. Oh, one thing I forgot to change is these 2 other names. So maybe this is my professional plan and this is my premium plan. And then I would probably point out that my buttons are all by default set to open the pop-up, which is what I want. Because eventually what I would do is I would go edit my pop-up, and in here I would grab my, I'd make it 1 column. I'd put a header in here that says, something like get started. And then I would grab a 2-step order form if I were setting up like a SaaS signup page. So that's going to go in your pop-up. You'd hit save. You can edit all your pop-up settings over here if you'd like. And that would be the final step as far as getting this section of this page designed. Cool. So I'll save it there and I'll turn this into a share link and I will add that to the video description. So hopefully this helped.